Hello, sir. It's an honor to meet you. My name is Hyun Tak. Among many human rights issues, child labor seems to be one of the most pressing ones. However, if we prohibit child labor altogether, there may be consequences to their sustenance. What do you think should be the way to handle these issues?
Child labor is a big issue in many countries, and it can be in different forms. Again, just to be clear, there is a distinction between child labor. Child labor doesn't mean that child cannot do any work. Okay, child can do work, because if you do not work in early stages, you will be lazy and will not be willing to work when you are adult. So that's it's not that child cannot do work. The international labor organizations have different standards for different ages. So if you are under 14, you can do small works, help your families, do smaller type of works. From 14 to 18, you can do paid work, but not in hazardous situations, which means like you cannot be in the military, you cannot be in a mining company, you cannot be in situations where you need much of the like martial power. So there are criteria where you cannot be in a hazardous situations, but you can do nominal work and for certain hours. You cannot do night shifts. So there are rules what you cannot do. And when you are adult, then you can do whatever you want and whatever you can. So the basic issue of child labor, if you talk about, so that's one thing. The other issues related to child labor is also education. According to human rights principles, primary education should be free in all countries. I don't know the case of ROK, but I understand that at least the education should be free until you go to the university. That's what I understand. I'm not sure, but it's a state responsibility to provide education to the children, at least until the primary age. And if you have said that you would provide education until like 10th grade, then the member states cannot go back and say, now I don't have money, I will only provide until 8th grade. So once you have done in a progressive manner, then you have to do it. But again, the protection of the children also lies with the government responsibilities. So if it is related to subsistence, for those who are below 14 years or even younger, then the state should have a social security programs to support those families who would be then able to send the kids to school and also support the family instead of sending it to the labor. So in many countries, that's the way it is functioned. It becomes a state responsibilities to provide social protections to families below a certain poverty line, so that they can continue to live their life while ensuring that the children goes to schools. In some countries, there are also programs if the children if the families cannot send the children to school, then the custody of the children is taken by the government, and then they provide services to the children. So there are also countries like that, like Norway does that. So if the family is not able to provide adequate care and support to the children, then it becomes a state responsibility, and the state provides that outside of the family. So they put it in the foster house or somewhere. I don't argue on whether it's good or bad, but I think the basic responsibility is the state has a responsibility to send the children to school, and if the families cannot afford that, should be a social protection programs to support that family. But obviously, children above 14 years can do some sort of work. It's not that they cannot do work. They can do work, yeah, but not hazardous work or dangerous work.
Thank you.